Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakraborty, President IM Group, Dr. Probal Dasgupta, Professor and Head of the Department Linguist Research Unit of ISI Kolkata, Mr. Narayan Karmakar, CMD Shri Jagannath Shilpodyog Limited, Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakraborty, Director IM Salt Lake, Dr. G.A. Ghanashyam, Professor and Head of the English Department, Lahiri College, Chirimiri. Dr. Ghanashyam is also the President of the LTI Chapter India. We are also honored to have with us Professor Dr. Anita Devi Pillai from National Institute of Education, Singapore, Dr. Shampa Chatterjee, teacher, trainer and ELT specialist. We also have with us Professor Dr. A.K. Nayak, Principal IM Salt Lake. Along with that, we have research scholars from around the world. Thank you, and our students. Thank you all of you for being here. Without you, this wouldn't have been possible. I would now give a short and small presentation on our institute. Institute of Engineering and Management, IIM Kolkata. It was founded by Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakraborty, the founder director of the IIM Group, and with his immense amount of experience both in India and abroad in USA, Canada, he dared to dream it big and different. And so he is the pioneer of establishing the trend of private engineering institution and management institution in the entire state. So very, very big round of applause to Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakraborty, President IIM Group. A brief overview of the institution is, it was laid in the year 1899, that's almost 30 years back. And Professor A.K. De, former director IIT Bombay, was the principal of IIM till 1997, followed by Professor K. Chopra, who was the former director of IIT Kharagpur. He was also the governing body member, and they ensured the culture of IIT and internationally reputed in organizations and institutes. The culture was inculcated in IIM. The objectives and goals of the institute, and it's just a brief overview. We try to provide excellent educational facilities, optimal atmosphere, and very, very high academic standards. To develop the holistic personality of the students here, we try to build them as a proper and very good human being, a true citizen of India. And definitely we train them to be employable engineering and management graduates. To inculcate in them self-confidence and self-reliance for pursuing higher education, they organize various extracurricular activities which brings out the leadership in them. We prepare the students to face various national level competitive exams, and definitely they contribute to the industrial development and economic growth of the country by providing the placement scenario of IIM. This is just a glimpse of the ranking that we get, the students that gets admitted in IIM, and every year right from its inception we get the top 3% of the West Bengal Joint Entrance Examination and all other All India entrance examinations. The three campuses, we have three campuses. IIM has three campuses in Sector 5 only. One is the Gurukul, the other one is Ashram, and this is the management house where you are presently seated. And we have, the streams. We take streams in EC department, computer science, electrical and electronics engineering, mechanical engineering, information technology. We also provide MTech degrees to computer science engineering, information technology, and electronics and engineering, communication engineering. We provide Masters of Business Administration and postgraduate diploma management to the students also. Along with that, Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Computer Application, and MSc in Information Science is also provided to the students. After the success of IIM, the immense success of IIM for about 30 years, we ventured after the government of Jaipur invited IIM to start a private university in Jaipur. And for the last 5-6 years, University of Engineering and Management Jaipur is doing brilliantly. After the success of University of Engineering and Management UEM Jaipur, we started our University of Engineering and Management UEM Kolkata, and that is also running for the last 4 years. This is also a brief overview and the success story of Institute of Engineering and Management, IEM Kolkata. As I stated, it was started in the year 1889 by Dr. Satyajit Chakraborty. It is the first self-financed engineering college of West Bengal. Affiliated to Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Institute of Technology, formerly it was known as the West Bengal Institute of Technology, IEM is a co-educational institute catering to both graduate and postgraduate students. Recently, IEM has been awarded Grade A with a score of 3.25 by NAAC, the highest grading authority of India. We can proudly state that there are innumerable students every year whose scores, they stand in the university examinations. We are ranked 79th by the NIRF ranking, and all the eligible departments are NB accredited, and we definitely provide 100%, almost 100% placement to all the engineering and management students. Majority of our students backs up 2 to 3 for multiple number of job offers. Approximately 20 students goes to US, Europe, Canada, and 30 students, more than 30 students, they opt for higher studies in ISC, IIT, IIMs, and other, very reputed national organizations. About 31 patents are filed by the engineering departments in the last 5 years. Almost 1,200 research papers are published by the faculty and the students of IEM, and they are published in different international and national journals. Many faculties, they contribute chapters in technological books, and they are also present in the editorial board. We have MOU with various organizations and foreign universities like the Iwate University Prefectural Institute, Japan, ESC Rennes School of Business, France, the Montpellier Business School, France, De Montfort University, UK, in the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, USA, Brunel University, UK, to promote higher studies. We will be coming to the MOUs in later slides. We also organize various international conferences. In Singapore and Malaysia, study tours are organized for the benefit of our students. We have got an alumni association which is a registered organization in the year of 2000, and we have more than 10,000 students present in the alumni association. Our distinguished alumni are present in IIT Gandhinagar, NIT Kharagpur, Jadavpur University, NITs, IIT BHU, and they are, many of them are in the topmost positions in various top MNCs like Director at GE Capital USA, Program Manager at Microsoft USA, Country Manager of Henkel, Director of PwC, and the list continues. The success story of our alumni. The company is a brief glimpse of the companies who visits our campus. As I said that most of our students, not only they get placed with a single job offer, most of them ends up getting multiple job offers. These are a few of the companies who visits our campus regularly. And as I said previously that there are several students who keeps on securing ranks in the university examinations. This is some of them are shortlisted here in front of you. We are having at present more than 220 faculty members and with more than 60 PhD faculty members, and this is not only we are looking into the development of the students, placing them in very good organizations. We are also doing very good in the research and development work as well. The faculty along with the students, they have presented, submitted patents and various research papers in top-notch conferences, and their publications are there in the international journals also. This is just a pie chart presenting the research development of the faculty of Institute of Engineering and Management, IEM. The infrastructure, it's about the internet, without which we cannot live for a second. It's like oxygen to us these days. So that's the speed that we have in the campus. It's a completely Wi-Fi enabled campus. We have got a central library which is AC, and it's 24/7 open. That's a very rare facility, and I think we are again a pioneer in providing our students with such kind of facility. We have more than 5,000 computers available for the students. This is just a pictorial view of the various laboratories of the institute. of the different departments. New addition, as I said, that we are looking into the research area very with huge amount of focus. So these are a few new additions which are made to our laboratory for encouraging research. That's a 3D printing device. These are again a few glimpses of the laboratory equipments of our various labs. Now this is again the features of our central library. We are extremely proud about the central library, a private organization providing with such a huge number of titles and volumes, and the variety of journals that we provide to our students. As I said, it's a 24/7 digital library also is present, and upgradation is done every semester of the library. There are various student benefits. We try to provide transport facilities, separate girls and boys hostels. Medical policies are provided to all the students. We definitely the seed money for encouraging startups to our students, very talented students. Free ships are provided to the economically poor students who get extremely high merit for academics, but they are not financially stable, so the organization provides free ship to such students. And we provide financial support for the project works, for attending conferences and seminars. There is a huge scope for the sports and cultural activity in the organization, and then again the Wi-Fi and the computer center. We continuously organize faculty development programs where reputed and internationally famous professors keeps on coming and addressing our faculty members and students. This is just small, very, very small shortlisted pictures in front of you, like Dr. Manoj Mitra, Dr. A. Das Burman from Calcutta University, Jadavpur University. Then we have eminent DST speakers, patent officers coming and addressing us. Then we had Dr. Susan Nakayama Xiao from USA, California State University, addressing our students. And we had Professor Dr. Detlef from the Institute of Germany as our visiting distinguished foreign visiting faculty program. So on a continuous basis, we bring in internationally reputed and foreign professors to address our students, to encourage them to think beyond the syllabus and into research work. Dr. Gautam Chattopadhyay, he is an eminent scientist from NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. He also came and addressed our students. Professor Philip Russell, Professor Ashok Sen, Honorable the French Consul General also visited and addressed our students. And then we have a 3D design and printing technology workshop as well organized by the Institute. This is the latest technology, and this kind of infrastructure is a rare thing to be found in any kind of organization. Apart from the academics, we look into the entrepreneurial ventures of our students. We provide continuous seed money to the very, very talented students that we have, and we have been the champions for the last 5 years of the NEN E-Cell. This year also we got the E-Cell of the year. Our Institute of Engineering and Management IEM backed up the prize. We organized a Renaissance of Entrepreneurship in Bengal. It was a panel discussion where throughout India people came and addressed the students, and they discussed how to submit business plans, apply patents, and enlighten our students. Glimpse of the sports events that we try to provide to our students and encourage them to stay fit. We organize our annual sports meet in the Sai complex, that's a Sports Authority of India complex. Every year we have been organizing the IEM Kolkata Marathon. It's a charity drive. We donate money to the CRY chapter, with which we have got an MOU. And it's a charity event that is completely organized by the students of our institute. We have the annual Tech Fest, Inauguration, and this year it was done in association with ISRO. We have got the IMPACT, the annual cultural festival of Institute of Engineering and Management, where we bring in internationally reputed artists to perform at our cultural fests. And these are all, a brief idea of the other activities like a celebration of the Women's Day, tree plantation, and with CII we have the IM Cry chapter. We, regular basis we go through the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Our student Kislay Raj, he has done brilliantly and has been recognized by the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, Government of India, by founding the Chilla app. It's a women's safety app. Continuously we are AAA grade NPTEL organization, and as I said that in the previous slides I mentioned that IM organizes various international conferences. IEEE IMCon 2016, we did it in University of British Columbia, UBC Vancouver, Canada. Then IEEE UEMCon 2016, we organized it at Columbia University, New York, USA. We also organized a conference, IEEE CCWC, in Las Vegas, USA, in the University of Nevada. We organized UEM Congress in Chulalongkorn University, Bangkok, in the year of 2017 only. Then in the 17 also we repeated the series of the conferences, IEEE IMCon in University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada, CCWC, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and a brief recap of the foreign collaborations that we have with the foreign universities. Iwate Prefectural University, Japan, ECS Rennes School, France, Brunel University, London, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada, Columbia University, New York, USA, which is an Ivy League university. It's 200 years almost old. So these are our foreign collaborations that we have achieved. And finally, after organizing extremely successful conferences throughout the globe in engineering and management sector, we have started this ICELTS, the International Conference on English Learning and Teaching Skill Conference. This is the first international conference in the English language and teaching, organized by the Basic Science and Humanities department, the English department. They have organized this conference. So a big round of applause to all the organizers. That was a short activity about the organization, and now we will have a short video on the conference. Brilliant video prepared by definitely our very, very talented students. So another round of applause for our students. And they have been working very hard day and night to make this conference a big success. Okay, Shubhrali, very good work done. Since we are not yet joined by many of our guests, but because of the shift in the schedule, we'll prefer to move on with the conference. I would request Professor Pooja Joshi to present a small token of appreciation to Dr. Devashish Roy. IPS ADG and IGP Telecommunications, West Bengal. Thank you, sir, for gracing today's occasion. Next, I request Professor Dr. Koel Ganguly to welcome Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakraborty, President IM Group, presenting our esteemed guests with a small tree to promote tree plantation with Gitanjali. Now, next I will request Professor Triparna Datta to felicitate Mr. Nara. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your continuous support. Next, I would request Professor Pooja for joining the video line. Thank you, ma'am, for coming all the way from. Thank you, ma'am, for gracing today's occasion. We are, guests to join us. I would now request Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakraborty, President IM Group, to present us with the welcome address.
Good morning, sir. On behalf of the Institute of Engineering and Management, it's a great privilege for me to welcome you all to this international conference on English language. English language is today considered to be an international language. If a Chinese has to do business with a Mexican, they will converse in English. In India, if I have to converse with a Tamilian, I will converse in India in English. The amount of content that is available in English is enormous. It's just enormous. You can get almost anything in English. Hence, it is very important that English teaching and learning should be done with a lot of importance. And believe me, this English language is the easiest language and very easy to learn. I'll request the students especially that if you have to learn English, please learn good English. There is a time when in Europe, 10 years back, when me and my wife had gone to Europe for moving, had gone to Germany, I found all the road signs are in German language. When I had gone to France, Paris, I found all the road signs are written in French language. It was every country, they have in Europe, a lot of countries are there and they have their own language, they all write in their own language. And it was so difficult for us to move around the place ourselves. So we have to always depend on the taxi driver and ask the hotel reception that please write your name and address in the hotel so that we can show it to the taxi driver and he can bring us back. Last year, me and my wife had gone to Europe and we found everywhere, the road signs are written in English and their own language because it makes business sense. it helps the tourist. So, learning English is not a luxury, but a necessity. The English people, they have made their Raj almost all over the globe, and many people say, I also believe, they have looted all the countries that they have ruled, which of course is very normal for any country, otherwise why they will come. But one great thing that they have done, they have given us the language. I, for one, I am ready to forget what the Britishers has done to us. But I will remain grateful to them for what they have done for us. Few years back, if Bengalis were attacked, then the Punjabis will enjoy. Acha hua, Bengali ka pitai ho gaya hai. And when Odisha people are under pressure, the Assamia people will say that acha hua hai, us province ka admi ka pitai ho gaya. Because we could not talk, though we are Indians, but we could not talk to our South Indians or North Indians. But because of this language, English language, we have started communicating to all the people of our country. And the feeling that it is one country, we are one people, our destiny is one, came through this language. So this is the importance of the English language. If you see the poetry like Shelley, Byron, Keats, I mean, wonderful, your whole life you can enjoy reading those poetries. Just one Shakespeare has made the character of the Britishers in a different way. Why Shakespeare is so important? Why Ramayana is so important? Why Mahabharata is so important? Ramayana is important, so important to us because it tells which is good, which is bad. Similarly, Shakespeare, through his literary work, has taught the English people what is good, what is bad, what is ethical, what is unethical. From 1600 AD, the Britishers started ruling over the various parts of India, various parts of the globe, and wherever they have gone, they have given their language. Because, not that they have done it as a gesture of goodwill or anything, they have done it because that was the court language, that was the language of the ruler. So, that way, in the whole world, you will find the English language is the most commonly used language, especially for those who are in the technological field, in the management field, in the medical field. They will find that almost enormous content in their subject is written in the language of English. Today, internet, mostly, it is written in English. In Google search, you ask anything, it's like, is like God's voice. Ask anything and the reply comes. That way, learning English is very important, and I request all the teachers and the schools that if we have to use English, let us use better quality English, and believe me, English is the easiest language to learn and use. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would request Professor Probal Dasgupta to address the audience. Dr. Dasgupta is a professor and head of the Department of the Linguistic Department of ISI Kolkata. He, in 1980, did his studies from the New York University. He taught in New York, San Francisco, Melbourne, in Pune, Hyderabad. Based at Indian Statistical Institute. He is from the year 2006, and there he is the head of the Linguistic Research Unit. Sir, please be kind enough to address the audience. Thank you so much.
Satyajit Babu Senior, Satyajit Babu Junior, other dignitaries of the Institute of Engineering and Management, the other co-sponsors of this event, the Telegraph, and the others who were part of the inaugural ceremony from Calcutta University, the Government of West Bengal, the American Center, British Council. I hope I'm not forgetting any organization. This is really a multi-organizational effort, though it is being hosted and spearheaded by the Institute of Engineering and Management. But I'm here to represent the Indian Statistical Institute, which is one of the minor players in the game. And I'm in this mixed position of guest and co-host. And in that capacity, I'd like to extend to you all this complex welcome in a situation where the welcomers and the welcomees have mingled in a single inaugural event. And in such a situation where so many interests are represented, both interest in the sense of material interest in what you want to do, and in terms of focus and concern with certain topics that are dear to your heart, in such a place, it's important to find a common point that can be a point of convergence, not merely for pious ritualistic purposes, but for what we wish to do. Those of you who know the program, and many of us have come here with full knowledge of the program of the next 3 days, are aware that much of the concentration of energies here will be on new skills in the context of new technologies which have to be mastered in order to enhance our skills and in order to basically cope with the modern world where the technologies are rapidly taking over every sector of our existence. And English comes attached to these technologies of the WhatsApp kind and so on. As a result, there is of course a demand for computer-assisted language learning, computer-assisted language teaching, and there is a demand for teachers to learn how to best use these technologies in the context of their actual teaching. Though of course in certain rural settings this is a cruel joke because the technology is not available. So there you have a context of a sense of deficit vis-a-vis the situation, and when the children get out of the rural setting and are able to get access to the technologies, they rapidly adjust to it. But on the whole, everywhere the question is how to adjust to the new technologies and how to develop the new skills. This looks a bit like a battle, so I'd like to use the President's invocation of Shakespeare. In the context of battle, the play from Shakespeare that speaks most directly to the issue is Coriolanus, because Coriolanus is a play where the central character is a soldier and a general at all times. He's a general in the toilet, he's a general in bed, he's a general when having breakfast, he's a general 24/7. And that is the difficulty. Coriolanus is in a certain way the central character in the entire set of 37 plays by Shakespeare. Because what Shakespeare has to impart to all of us, to humankind by way of wisdom, is most clearly expressed in this one character, Coriolanus, who has not learnt a single lesson that Shakespeare wants us to learn. Coriolanus stands as an example of what kind of human being we should not aspire to be. He's an example of what not to do, what not to learn. Why? Because he is completely confused about the categories of war and peace. He seems to think that we should be at war all the time, with everybody. We're always fighting, and fighting is what we're born for, because we're all supposed to be soldiers at all times, and if possible to be generals at all times. If you put Coriolanus at the center of your attention, you see that the old adage from military wisdom, which goes, if you want peace, prepare for war, means to be reversed. What you need to say to yourself at all times is, if you want to win, prepare for peace. Turning the old wisdom on its head, you need to say, if you want to win, prepare for peace. When you say prepare for peace, you're not talking about Coriolanus, you're talking about Socrates and Confucius and Jesus and all the other sages all over the world, Gautam Buddha, who have shown us how to bond with our neighbors, how to connect, first of all, with the people sitting next to you, the people standing next to you, the people you live with in your neighborhood, in your proximity, how to build proximate communities, and then, of course, the bigger and larger communities that technology makes possible. We often forget in our newfound attachment to WhatsApp and Facebook and the computers that make this possible, that if your neighborhood is not functioning, if there is waterlogging in Sector 5 preventing the people from reaching this venue on time, and if therefore we have to start 50 minutes late, this is not a problem that technology can solve for you. You will have to solve it with your neighborhood resources, with the help of the proximate community. Nobody else will rescue you from your waterlogging. That is really the hidden lesson of technology, that technology is not enough. You have to work with your consociates, with the others in your society, to build proximate communities and achieve peace if you wish to win your battle, including the technological battle. That is all I want to say. I thought if we all were to concentrate on one point, the point might set the tone for the rest of the day and the rest of the conference. We have multiple interests that will be pursued over the next 3 days. In Bangla, to cite one line of poetry from Tagore, whom some of you are familiar with, Deshe deshe dishe dishe kormo dharadhaya ajasra sahasra vidhu choritarthatai. There are 1,000 agendas. Through the 1,000 agendas, there runs the one question of war and peace, because we all feel embattled, we feel beleaguered, we feel we have to win. I'm trying to help us all to remember that if you want to win, you have to make peace with your neighbors. That should be one of our important foci. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Professor Dasgupta. It was wonderful listening to your address. And right now we are extremely honored to be joined by Dr. Debanjan Chakrabarti. He is the Director of British Council East and Northeast India, and without whose support this wouldn't have been possible. I would request Professor Chetna Singh to present Dr. Debanjan Chakrabarti with a small token of appreciation. Thank you, sir, for all your support and guidance, without which this conference wouldn't have been possible. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you everyone present, thank you respected guests and dignitaries. My profound and abject and unreserved apologies for being so late. I visited all the 3 campuses that IEM has here. So, but that has its own learnings. But here I am. It is always very, very difficult to follow Probalda on stage. After Coriolanus, what can one say? So that was a great point that you left us with in terms of reflecting on the importance of solutions that could make our societies more complete and whole in addressing global and local problems, and through the lenses of Coriolanus, a play that I immensely enjoy, and it was great to think of Coriolanus on a day like this. This particular conference, we are very, very privileged to support from the British Council in India. Particularly in this year, 2018 is a year when we are celebrating the 70th anniversary of the British Council in India, the British Council in Kolkata. I've just laid my hands on some really interesting archival materials from the National Archives of Britain on British Council's first annual report from 1948. So I'm going through that with great relish, and I think one of the things that I'm gleaning from it, that the purpose of our organization has been pretty unwavering in the last 70 years, especially in its focus on teacher education, of course with the lenses of English language, but I would like to dwell a little bit on the other perspectives on language teaching that we also bring to the table. One of the things that I was looking at the program, and I think a little bit more, it's a fantastic program, and I wish and I hope that all the participants partake of the learnings from it. One of the big challenges in education currently, apart from the philosophical challenges, is the challenge of assessment. And I don't think we are testing the right things when we are testing various aspects of learning. And especially with regards to language teaching, one of the great crises that I see staring at all of us is that we do not test speaking and listening skills enough. And this is one of the biggest ironies, if I may say so, of the way our entire education system has been set up, especially here in India, which is predicated on the written word, the written text, on continuously committing to paper things that you read, and then you write stuff out. Whereas a great challenge that we see, especially for students who are trying to, after you complete your education and step out from the world of studies to the world of work, is lack of speaking and listening skills contribute to some of the basic problems problems of employment. I mean, there's always this phrase is bandied about that lack of communication skills is not enabling our young graduates to get good jobs. That is just at the top level. But even if you look beneath that, at its heart is an inability to listen and speak, to absorb ideas and to articulate solutions. So it's about understanding complexity in all its manifest nature, and then applying your domain knowledge. And especially here, I think the students come from the engineering and management, the techno-managerial kind of background. I think the big things, the big problems that the previous speaker referred to are in the domain of complex problems that one needs to understand at the level of language, and then apply complex solutions to these complex problems. And this is where I think communication skills is a very, I think, light word that's used. I think it goes much beyond that. I think it is about comprehension of understanding things in all its depth and weight, and then providing solutions. And all those points that Pravalda made about linking problems, even technological problems such as waterlogging, to larger problems that communities and societies face, and how these issues are at the same time local and global. These are the things that need to be absorbed through our process of education. And I think till such time we adjust our testing systems to test and assess everyone for these kind of complex knowledge, I think we are producing, we are locked in an unproductive education system that's almost doomed to fail. There's at another level, there's the issue of, when I reflect on my own education background, especially till my master's level here in India, from kindergarten to my master's, not once was I ever assessed on how good a collaborator I am. I've been drilled to become an individual success, and I had a fairly good academic record. And this is actually a problem, that we become, our education system is condemning us to become individual successes at the cost of our peer group. And this is, I think, another issue that needs to be fixed at our education level. And again, I blame our assessment systems, because we are not assessed for our collaboration skills. We are not assessed for our communication skills. And finally, I think the third C, as it were, accidentally, and perhaps not entirely accidentally, is compassion. I think compassion is one aspect that really helps separate us out and make us into not only just team players, but when we reflect on ideas of leadership, I think compassion is one such attribute that really makes the biggest difference in our working lives, in our lives outside work, in life as it were. And again, I think the example of Coriolanus is very, very relevant here, because I think what Coriolanus lacks is compassion and his complete inability to empathize with human beings around him. I want this, I hope this conference is a great success, and there is opportunity to reflect on various kinds of learning, not just employment focused, job oriented learning, which is important, and it will be a byproduct. It's almost an inevitable byproduct of good education that looks at all the manifest complexities of individuals and communities and larger societies and nations. Thank you very much, and all the very best to this conference, and all the very best to IAM.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chakravarti. And we are honored to be joined by Mr. James A. Dragon, Director, American Center, Kolkata. A big round of applause to sir, please. I request Professor Dr. Koel Ganguly to welcome Mr. James A. Dragon with a small token of appreciation. Thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion. Now I would request all our esteemed guests to kindly come up on the dais, and we will be lighting up the diya and begin the conference. I request all the eminent guests to kindly